This conference will now be recorded.
So I already have the same servers that we were using. So we'll just talk about how to register. Like you wanted to register some output, right? We'll see how to register. So in this case, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to search if there is our HTTPD package is already running or not. If it is running, then we will register that to a JSON output, and then we will register into this variable called check package, and we will, based upon whether it is running or not, we can say it is available or not, right? So that is what we are going to do. And how do we register some output to a variable, and then output to a variable, and then use that variable to check few things and print that variable, right? That's what we are going to see. Let's go and see this. So before that, let's make sure that this command is actually working correctly, right? So this should be our dev. Okay. There is no HTTPD service as such. Okay, what we will need to do, we will need to install HTTPD, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to install Apache in both the machines and see what is happening, right? So to install Apache, now one machine is Ubuntu, one machine is your Linux. Okay, node 1 is Ubuntu and node 2, like how do you check that? You can just check using uname -a. It will give you all the, okay. So actually this is an Ubuntu machine. Okay, this is an Ubuntu machine and this should be our Red Hat. Okay, this should be our Red Hat machine. Okay, fine. Now let's go and see if we can write some playbook to install our HTTPD first, then we will check whether it is running or not, right? So to do that, let's go and write a playbook called install httpd.yaml. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to write the name of the playbook to install Apache based on the OS. Okay, because your package manager for Linux is yum and this one is apt. Okay, fine. This is what we are going to do. So the first thing is for which host we need. Okay, so we are going to do for dev. Okay, then make sure your become is equal to true because we are going to install something. Okay, and what we are going to do, we need to add the tasks. Under tasks, you need to add the first task saying install httpd package. Okay, so to install the httpd package, you need yum. Okay, name of the package is httpd and the state is present. Okay, state is present. Now we have to put a condition here when, right? When Ansible OS underscore family is equal to Red Hat. Okay, if it is Red Hat, then you use this task will execute. Okay, number one. Once this is done, the next step for us is to kind of start the HTTPD service, right? It's very simple, right? When you start writing, it's very simple. This is a service module, and name of the service is going to be again HTTPD, and state is going to be started. Okay, and again, this need to happen only when your Ansible underscore OS underscore family, sorry, not name, family is equal to Red Hat. So I have Ubuntu and I have Red Hat. So when it is running, it will see the condition, and then it will do these things, right? Let's just run this and see what is happening first. Then we will write for our Ubuntu. Okay. So what we need to do first, do an Ansible playbook and do a syntax check on this install HTTPD. We are good with the syntax. There is no issue. Okay. Let's try to do a dry run. It's taking 2 machines. It's skipping 85 because 85 is your Ubuntu, and it's trying to do only for the 236. So this is 85, which is Ubuntu, and this is 236, which is your Linux. So whatever we are doing is fine. Now let's get inside and try to add that other scripts also, right? So when you're writing a very big playbook, just make sure you are testing it out then and there so that you don't have to like waste a lot of time in debugging or troubleshooting these things, right? Install. For this, the package name is Apache 2. Apache 2 for Ubuntu. The same, all Apache only. Here the name is different. Okay. So now here, package manager is apt, and name of the package is Apache 2. Apache 2 and state colon present. Right? State colon present. And again, we will put a condition when your Ansible underscore OS underscore family is equal to Debian, right? Debian. So this is what your this one is. Start Apache 2 service. Okay. So you just keep on writing, right? Nothing to worry, nothing you need to remember. It's just as if you know what you need to do. Write it step by step. Service name should be Apache 2. Apache 2, and your state should be started. And just make sure when, if you don't give this condition, it will try to do the same thing for Red Hat, which it will throw error. So in this way, we can use one playbook to install web server into so many other different OS. Okay, that's the idea here. Ansible OS underscore family is equal to Debian. Sorry, I always misspell this. Okay, Debian. That's it. Okay, how do we find out this, whether it is a Debian or this one? As I told you, we just need to do Ansible -m setup for dev. Okay, and when you get this output, you grep for Ansible OS underscore family. Okay, see here, what we are doing is correct. One is Red Hat, one is Debian. Okay, so this is how you need to find out. Now let's go and do a syntax check. We are good. Let's go and do a -c. Do a dry run to validate everything is fine. Install HTTPD package. It will skip 85. Then it will start the service. It will install the Apache for 236. It will skip the other one and it will go on. So we are good now. Let's go try to run this. And we'll see actually we are able to access our this one. So it's installing HTTPD package. It's skipping 85. So it's doing in 236. And similarly the opposite. It's skipping 236 and it will do for 85. Okay, we are good. Now if you go back here and check for ps-ef grep HTTPD, sorry, this is Apache 2. Apache, okay. See here, Apache is running, and here your ps-ef grep HTTPD, that is also running. Just to make sure like both are fine, let's go back to node 1, copy this. If all your security group, everything is fine, see here Ubuntu's Apache 2 default page is there, and you go back here, you will see the other one. Okay, see, so we're all good, everything is installed properly. So now you can write some housekeeping scripts like this, right? So what you can do, you can go and check on HTTPD and you can see if that is working or not correctly, right? So okay, let's see if this is working. Okay, so to check that, this is the command I'm going to use. So let's go to HTTPD, and again it's only Red Hat only we can try HTTPD. Here is where just go do a paste here. See here it says active running, so some information is returned back. Okay, so now if you see, say check HTTPD service.yaml. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to paste this and we will go through this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we are going to check if the HTTPD package is running. If it is running, register to a check package and it will go and do all those things, right? Let's see if this works out correctly. Some housekeeping scripts, if you want to write, this is how you need to write it actually. Okay, it's a big script, don't worry, it's very simple, it's very easy to just go through. So the first task that we are doing is checking whether status is running. Yes, if status is running, it will register the value into this, and this is based upon the OS. After that you register, then you say okay, variable as this one, and print this one whether it is installed or not installed or all those things, right? If your check package is empty, it will say not installed, otherwise it will say it is installed. So first let's go and try to do a Ansible playbook. Check, syntax check. You can have some shortcuts if you need, but I would recommend you not to do that. You will get used to the commands, right? Otherwise you will not get used to the commands. Okay, HTTPD package is not installed. See, the problem here we need to be a little bit careful is what is that? There is no std out in the check package. Just give me a minute. Just check why it is not there, because in 36 no, in 236 it should be there, and here it should not be there. So we'll have to check whether we can check this. Okay, okay, so install package, if it is not there, what was the error we got? Print HTTP package is not installed. Which task is this? We need to find out. So it is saying this one is not correct. Your check package dot std out is not correct, right? Okay, there's something problem with this. There is no std out for your check package. So what is there for std out? This check package. We'll quickly check. Give me a minute. Let's check if we have something. Check service. It's nothing. It's just register the result. Okay. Give me 1 minute. I think I have it somewhere else. Let's quickly check that out. Yeah, let me get back to you this, but this actually need to work, right? It should really check whether it is running or not. If it is running, that is fine. Otherwise, we'll have to kind of put the package. That is the idea here. Okay, somewhere something we are missing. Just give me 1 minute. So just to debug this, what we can do. Try to print this and see what is there. Okay. Where in message, where or incompatible options. Just give me 1 minute. I think we will need to actually run this instead of running as -c because nothing will be there, so it cannot check. Okay. Let's go actually check this out, right? What it is trying to do. Okay. So yeah, this is what we have, right? See, in 236, your HTTPD service is running. Actually, the issue with before that is this particular std out, right, had empty. That is why it was not able to check. So once we executed, it's able to register and check. So we are good now, right? It has skipped for the 85. 85 is our Ubuntu because HTTPD is not there for Ubuntu. That's what we need to check. Okay. So this is how you can check if your package is installed or not, all those things, right? Here you can see in 236, your HTTPD service is running now because there is a output that has been returned to this check service status. Okay. Actually, last class also I did the same mistake by running SC and I forgot. So I think we are doing the same. So that's it, right? So you can go and check if any of your service is running or not. It's not only for this service, right? For it can be for any service. Any questions here, guys? This is just a housekeeping scripts. You can write a lot of scripts like this. You can get a lot of scripts from the internet, and you can go through and you can do. Okay, so that's one thing that we just need to. I just wanted to highlight. Next, we'll talk about this In the other languages, right? Like say, for example, your Java, Python, or .NET, you have a try catch statement, right? So how do we do a try catch statement here, right? So you have to use a block and rescue. Block is a try, and your rescue should be your catch block. Okay, so let's go and try to evaluate this. So this is how this works. Let me put this first, then we will go and see what we will get, what we will not get, right? Okay, let's copy this out. We'll see how to error handle this, like using try catch from other languages. So let's say VI block rescue .yaml. Go and do I and say set paste. Click on this and click I and right click and paste it. This is what we'll get. So this works like this, right? So this is a try block for us. So it is trying to print a message. Then we are forcing a failure to run bin false. That means you're coming out of the shell. So you will never be able to print anything. Then what it will do, this will never print this one, but this is a rescue, a catch block where it will catch an error and you can go and do whatever you want, right? So this block and rescue is equal to try catch. Okay, let's go run this guys and see what happens. Ansible playbook, say block rescue, YAML. So what it is trying to do, it's going, see here. First it's printed, I'm executing normally, then we are forcing a failure, then it's trying to catch the error. So it caught the error here. So it is using block statement from above and it is using a rescue statement, which is a catch. So what is another one that is missing from here? Can someone say me from other languages? So we have try catch. What is one more?
Finally,
Finally, right? Absolutely. Finally. So for finally, we can use always. Always is the keyword for finally. So irrespective of whether this above thing is throwing an error or not, these statements will always be executed. That's all. Okay. So this is what your finally is, nothing but always. So block rescue always is the one that you need to keep in mind. Always is equal to finally. So if in the other programs, wherever, even though there is some error, you still continue with your program, right? I will say always, right? We'll start with always. Always block rescue dot YAML. Okay, let's do the same thing. All these are just routine stuff that we do. This is just for the indentation, right? Otherwise, you will have to sit and type each and every line. So this is what we are doing. So we are putting a try statement here. We are forcing a failure. What will happen? It has to kind of throw this error. Now what will happen? It will throw here, and also it will do this because irrespective whether there is an error or not, this finally block will always be executed. Say for example, if you are trying to connect to a database using Java program, what you will do, you will have a try catch, you will have all your JDBC and all those things, and you feel that something is fishy. So what you will do, in the finally block, you will go and close the database connection. Whether the statement has passed, failed, don't worry about that. After that statement is executed or failed, you have to close the connection. If the connection is open, then it will be stale and your application will not run. Okay, so always we use a finally block. So here also we have a finally block rescue and always. Let's try to run this guy and see what happens, right? It's very simple. Oh, sorry, I forgot to change something here. It's not node 1, it should be dev. For us the host is dev, right? Earlier class it was node 1, for us it is dev. See what happened? Even though it caught this, whether there is an error or not, don't worry about that. It will go and execute this. So let's go and prove that also, right? So what we will do, we will remove this forcing, whatever we are trying to force here, right? So we will try to remove this guy. Okay, so let's go and remove the forcing and we'll see what happens now. Now what it will do, it will go and execute here, and since there is no this one, even the catch also will go and execute here. We have to force something, then this is always done for you. So you can go and do all those things as we do for other programming languages. Okay, so this is how your finally block and other things work. So let's talk about something called Jinja templates. Okay, I misspelled as ninja. When I read it first, I thought ninja, but it's called Jinja, Jinja. See what is this Jinja 2 template. So Jinja 2 templates are simple templates, files that stores variables that can be changed from time to time. When playbooks are executed, these variables get replaced by actual values defined in Ansible playbook. This way, templating offers an efficient and flexible solution to create or alter configuration files with ease. So let's go and see how this one works, right? So let's first create a file called hello world.j2. J2 is your Jinja file, okay? And we will define this variables to be replaced. And then once you are done, just go ahead and do save this file as hello world. Then we will write this and call the Jinja template and pass the variable here. And let's see if this is getting done, right? Okay. So what we will do, we will copy this entire stuff and we will go this to hello world underscore, sorry, underscore vi, can be any name, right? Hello world dot j2. That's a Jinja file. Okay, copy this. It's just a plain text only, nothing you have to do. Just put it here. So the variable to be replaced, this line won't be changed. Then variable is given in inline, whatever we are giving here will get replaced. Okay, let's see if this works. So now this is a Jinja template and we are going to pass this Jinja template here, right? Let's put it as jinja.yaml. Okay, let's do a insert and right click and paste this. Okay, just make sure before you do this host, just give the playbook name, playbook to test Jinja template. Okay, template, and for us now the host is all. We don't want all because I have some windows also there. We'll make it dev and all these are fine. Two variables with it. So hello again. You can put whatever name that you want and we will pass this template and we will create, we will replace that template with this value and copy to hello world.text under var temp. Okay, let's go and see if this works. So let's do Ansible playbook and say Jinja template.yml, right? So it will gather the facts. Now it has tested. Now let's go back here and what we need to do, go to where temp is what we have. Under temp we have hello world.text. See there, hello world.text. Okay, so it did not replace. Why it did not replace? Variable to be replaced, inline variable. Okay, let's try to do this. Let's try one more. Okay, Is there something that we are missing? Can someone say me if we are trying to miss something? I don't think this might be the issue. Have some issue with the Jinja template only. Okay. Let's see if it's trying to work. It still says the same thing. Why is that? The Jinja template has to work. Uh, Sure, I think there is a problem with this Jinja only. It's not trying to substitute. Let's remove everything and just try to have only one, right? And see if something is working or not. So let's just keep this, okay? And go ahead and to the Jinja and okay. Let's see if this works. Oh, variable name is reserved name. Okay. Variable name cannot be the name. It's happening. Just give me a minute. I'll just check and let you know. Somewhere the reference is not correct. I forgot to save this somewhere for our Jinja. Yeah, let me. I'll come back on this Jinja template for you guys. Okay, why that is not getting problem with the Jinja template, or is something that we are not doing it correctly. Let's use this. Somewhere we are trying to do. Okay, I think it's the same thing, right? What we have given. It's nothing different. Is there anything different you guys seeing here? I'm not finding any difference. Is there anything that you guys are seeing here? That's what we are doing, right? Let's see if we can copy the same stuff and put it there. Okay. And our variables would be these two are our variables, right? Version number, version underscore number, and server. Let's see. And the other one is server. I got that. Okay. It cannot be a mere copy. It's mere copy. We just need to give a template. It's a template module, not a copy module. That's a mistake that we did. It should have worked in the first place itself, right? Should be template. Template, source and destination. And this is my template. It's in the same location, and that is my destination. So now it should work. Okay, now go back here and search for, you can see here, Apache web server hello world is running on Linux. So you can now go and give whatever you want. So we did one small mistake here. We should have put this as template instead of copy. Well, let me make the correction now itself, so I don't repeat the same thing for the next class, right? Okay, all right. So this is how you can have your templates, and during the runtime you can give all your variables, append it, and then you can copy to the configuration, Apache configuration, while you're running different times, right? So you can go ahead and do that, all those things. So if you go to do cat var temp, say hello world, you'll get the same. Okay, that's fine. So troubleshooting is a big thing, okay, but we have to do. Let's see how to go through loops, right? In this one, so we have looping here also. Like, see, there are multiple ways to create, right? So you can install softwares using yum package, 5 softwares. You can write all 5 tasks name. Instead of that, that's not the right way to do. The right way to do is to pass a loop like this. Okay, so you can use a loop like this and start. Repeated task can be written as a standard loops. So you have loop in, it will take first user, put the user in, so it should be always item. Okay, the name, the here the variable always should be item. So you can go and keep on adding this users. So let's go and see how this looping works. Loops.yaml. Okay, so we are going to add test user 1, test user 2. Since you are using Linux, you are going to add user. It has to become true. Okay, without that it will not work. Let's go run this playbook. Ansible playbook and say loops.yaml. Let's see what happens. Okay, some mistake again we have done. The reason for that is this should be dev because all will also look for Windows, right? You remember, all will look for Windows also. That's why we're getting that error as run as error, right? Okay, Ansible loop where item change test user group does not exist. Okay, the group does not exist. Okay, state equal to present. Let's remove this group and put all this guy under ANS admin. Okay, see here, item 1, test user 1, test user 2. Go here and say cat etc pass wd. Enter. You will see the last guy, test user 1, test user 2 under ANS admin group. Okay. So similarly, if you go here also, you can see cat etc slash password passwd file. You will see the test user 1, test user 2. So you can go on sending all these things into your as a loop. You can keep sending all these things, right? So you can go and create Ansible loops, or you can also go and loop for other. You can put a group like this also, which group you wanted to them to add over the test user under root and wheel and test user under group. When you're using a loop as just as a key value pair, you need to say item dot name, item dot group, item dot name, item dot groups, right? So it will take both. So you can use all these things. I will share this. Please go ahead and try it and see if you are able to get all these things, right? Okay. So last we will have to see about this vault. This is very important. This vault is very, very important. So normally if you are having any sensitive information in your playbook, say for example, I have installed HTTPD as one of my playbook, right? See, assume that this is a sensitive information like your credit card, SSN, Aadhaar number, that, this and all, right? So all these are there now. How do we protect this? So I want no one should be able to kind of see all these things, right? So we have something called vault. So we can use vault to encrypt. So just say Ansible vault encrypt install HTTPD. When you do this, you have to create a new password. Without the password, nobody will be able to access your this one. Okay. Now you go do a cat install HTTPD. See there, no one can cipher anything from here, right? Nobody can cipher anything from here. Now what will happen if I go and run this, right? Let's go run this again. Say Ansible playbook, Ansible playbook, and say install HTTPD. Okay, it's you have to try to decrypt. So what you need to do, it's called ask vault. You need to put ask vault. Okay, it asks for the password. Then you need to go and put your password. Then it will decrypt and run your this one, and it will still be your, it will be encrypted after it is run. Okay, now go ahead and do the cat. You will still see that. Okay, so this is how you need to do. And if you want to decrypt this, you say Ansible vault decrypt and give your Apache. It's, and you have to give your password every time. Just make sure you have the password. I didn't give my password correctly. Input is not valid, encrypted data home. is not vault encrypted file. Okay, why?
Now you have to use HTTP instead of HTTP.
No, what is it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So this is what we have to use. Okay, I've just given Apache. Okay. So don't decrypt. You should be able to see that now. What happened?
The file name is just a double day.
We're having issues with the tabs. Okay. Now if you go into a cat, we should be able to see our file. So this way you can encrypt and decrypt all your sensitive information, right? You can go and take a look and you can start encrypting and you can do. There are a lot of options available for us. You can go into a Ansible Vault help and you should be able to see different options we have within Vault. See here, encrypt, decrypt, edit, view, encrypt string, and all those things that you can give. This is the way that you can give your Ansible Vault. Okay, so this is how they will protect your playbooks. Okay, so this is what we have for our Ansible. So we know how to write our playbooks, how to create our clusters at master node, and we know how to execute the ad hoc commands, how to execute playbooks and everything. Now let's get into and see how we can actually call this in Jenkins, right? So for that we have to make sure that we are having all our stuff in our GitHub. That is number one, right? So go to the GitHub. So I have this GitHub Ansible Jenkins as one of the repository. There I have host.ini file, which I have already defined as 85. So 85 should be my this one. So let's make this guy as 226. Let's go edit here. You can edit here, or you can also go clone it and then do all in your local and you can edit it, right? So I'm not having any hooks here, so no issue. Okay, host.ini. I will use my host, and then this is my Jenkins file. What I'm trying to do, the first steps in the pipeline, I'm trying to check out this. Second, I'm going to run a playbook. So what are the different steps to run a playbook? You need to have credential. So these credentials I've already set. I'll show you how to set the credentials, right? Just give me 1 minute. Let me show you how to set the credentials also. Go to manage Jenkins. Go back to manage credentials and go to the system credential, and you can click on this one and you can add new credential. So what I have done, I have added this now as ANS admin and password, and I've given the ID as my ANS SSH. Okay, so that is the password that we are actually using it here. Okay, and then host key checking, we are disabling that so that it doesn't check for any host, this one. And this is my Ansible installation, is my Ansible inventory is my host. This is my playbook install underscore git is my playbook. So if you go back to this Jenkins here, go here, you'll see I'm just trying to install Docker. That's all. So how is this happening, right? How is this happening? For that, what you need to do, you need to have a plugin. Okay, you need to have a plugin, and that plugin is called publish over SSH. Okay, publish over SSH. So we are getting those files, pushing over SSH to our Ansible master, and from there we are executing our scripts. So go to installed plugins and search for SSH. Publish over SSH. This is the plugin you need to install. Start send build artifact over SSH. Once you have done with that, then what you will see SSH service in your global configuration, right? Configure system, right? Under configure system, go back here, go to manage Jenkins, scroll down, and you can see configure system. Once you install that plugin, you will see this SSH. So give a name of your host. I'm calling it as Ansible host. The host name is your host name of your master. My master host name is 5191. Let's go and see if that is the correct one. Go back here and check for your master. It is 5291 111 183. 111 183. What is the username? And then we have the password already. Already the password is given there. And what you can do, you can click on advanced and you can go and enter your password here, whatever the password for your ANS admin. And now here it's very important, remote directory, everything will be checked out to home ANS admin, wherever we are. This is the username, this is the password. And just make sure leave everything as default. Just scroll down and say test configuration. What happened? Give me 1 minute. Scroll down, get plugin, SMTP servers, and all those here after email. You will see here publish over SSH. You see the SSH service here. Okay, and you need to give a host name. Not here 387. That's not the right one. This should be my host name. This is my host name where we can use the ANS admin and password as well. Right? Let's go and test this configuration now. So from my local, it is trying to do an SSH to this machine. It is successful. And please remember our Ansible host name is a server SSH server name is Ansible host. So I'm doing an apply. Then we are trying to create a job here. So it's very simple. Create a pipeline job. Just come down, select your repository. This is our repository. Okay. This is our my Ansible job. Let's go here, configure. Before we actually do this, let's try to make sure that Docker is not available in the machines before we do that, right? It's taking time. Give the repository. Okay. Come down here. All this is fine. Build environment, build steps. In post build, what we are doing, we are send the artifacts over SSH, and this is my host name that we gave there. And what you wanted to send, you want to send install git and host.ini there, and then where you want to send, you want to send it to the ANS admin. What is the command you want to execute? Ansible playbook -i host.ini install git.yaml. This is the file that we need to go ahead and execute. Let's go and see if this works. Before we go and check that, let's go and see if we have Docker installed. Just type Docker. It will say command no Docker found. Okay. Now let's go and run this job. So we are going to build this and let's see what happens. Okay. Go back to this. Go to the console output and see it's now taking from our Ansible. All this is fine. It's trying to open a connection with SSH. That is also done. It has gone. It has put your install.html and host. Everything is there, and it's trying to now run our playbook. See, it has started running our playbook. Install Docker, gathering facts, install Docker. So this way you can have all your YAML files in your GitHub, and you can go and automate this by using either webhook, or you can go and run it manually. It's up to you. Okay, it has to download the Docker and it has to install. So just give it a minute and let's see. See, Docker is already there. Here in Docker is already there. Here why it is not there, because the reason is here the package manager is not yum, the package manager is apt. So we need to put condition and do it for all the servers. And of course, I think we did for only one server. If you go to the host dot, we are only doing for 236. See, everything is done. Right, the same thing. So you can go and execute your, put all your playbooks here and you can call them accordingly. And just what we are seeing is correct, because if you go to host.ini, it is just for only one server, 236. 236 is your Linux. See here, 236 is your Linux. Okay, so this is how you can go and integrate your Ansible with Jenkins. So what we have seen, we have seen Git separately, how to then Jenkins separately, how to integrate both. Then we saw Maven, how to integrate and deploy to a container using Tomcat. Then we talked about Ansible, how to set up Ansible node and master, and how to run commands, how to write playbooks, and how to integrate it with your Jenkins. Okay, that's what we saw. Let's go and just start taking a look at our Docker, how this Docker looks like, right? And we will hold there and then we will continue tomorrow. Okay, just hold on. Okay, let's talk about Docker and we will see why this is a buzzword and why people are moving towards Docker. So if you see in earlier days, right, when we used to develop softwares, the development team used to set up the environment for them and they used to install and Docker, they used to, I mean, their application and they used to do everything. And when they give that WAR file or something to the production support folks, it will not work as the same, and they will say it is working for me, it is not working for you, some configuration might be left out, or all those things, right? In order to actually achieve or kind of remediate all those uh, portability issues and other issues, that's what we had. Docker, you can containerize your Docker, and Docker and Kubernetes is becoming famous because of our microservices. Okay, so Docker is an open source platform for developing, shipping, and running your applications. So far, how did we install our Jenkins? We downloaded the Jenkins, then we downloaded the Java. We first installed the Java, then we installed all those things, right? Let's see how we can do very easily with Docker images, right? And within few minutes, we should be able to bring up our Jenkins. Okay. So Docker enables you to separate your applications from your infrastructure so you can deliver your software very quickly. With Docker, you can manage your infrastructure in the same way as you manage your application. By taking advantage of Docker's methodologies for shipping, testing, and deploying code quickly, you can significantly reduce the delay between writing code and running it in production. So once you Dockerize your application, or you containerize your application, what will happen? Whether you run it in Windows or Linux or whatever it is, it's all same. Okay. Docker provides the ability to package and run application in a loosely isolated environment called container. So it will run inside a container. That's a very lightweight container. Okay. The isolation and security allows you to run many containers simultaneously on a given host. Okay. So there is something called namespace. So you can have a namespace called dev, namespace called UAT, namespace called production, and everything you can run in the same host but all three will be isolated. Okay, if you don't specify the namespace, it will take the default namespace. Containers are lightweight and contain everything that is needed to run the application. So container is very lightweight, which will have minimum dependencies that needed for your application to run. So you don't have need to rely on what is currently installed on the host. Okay, you don't have to worry what is in my laptop. You can easily share containers while you work, but be sure that everyone you share with gets the same container that works in the same way. Just to make sure, if you want to share your application as a container, then make sure you share the correct one and share the same that it is working. Some of the advantages of Docker: fast, consistent delivery of your application. So as I told you, Docker streamlines the development lifecycle by allowing developers to work in a standardized environment using local containers. So you can have local setup first, do all the testing, then you can go and deploy it to some server where Docker is running, and it is very highly useful for integrations like CI/CD pipelines, workflows. So it goes very well with those CI/CDs. Responsive deployment and scaling. Docker container-based platform allows for highly portable workloads. So Docker container can run on a developer's local desktop, physical, virtual, cloud, data center, or in a mixture of environments. Everything is same. Docker's portability and lightweight nature also makes it easy to dynamically manage your workflows, scaling up, tearing down the applications, everything you can do. Now you have two versions of your application. Suddenly there's a traffic, you can make it four, right? All those things you can do. Running more workloads on the same hardware. So what it will happen is it will try to use the resource as effectively as possible so that it is cost effective also. So you can use a Docker. Docker is fast and it is also viable, right? It's cost effective alternate to hypervisor. Hypervisor based virtual machines are Oracle virtual machine, all those are hypervisor based. So you can use more compute capacity to achieve your business goals. Okay, Docker is a perfect for high density environments and for small and medium deployments where you need to do more with very few resources. Suppose you have less number of CPU memory, it's better to go for Docker rather than deploying everything as a separate standalone machine, right? So the architecture here, it again uses a Docker client server architecture. Docker client talks to the Docker daemon, which is a server, which does the heavy lifting of building, running, and distributing your Docker containers. The Docker client and daemon can run on the same machine, or you can connect a Docker client to another remote machine in another running in another server. That also you can do. A remote Docker daemon. A Docker client and daemon communicate using REST API over Unix sockets or network interface. Right? It uses the REST API method, so it's very fast. Another Docker client is there within the Docker, that's called Docker Compose. It will allow you to deploy multiple containers or set of containers, right? Not single application, set of containers. You can do using the Docker Compose. We will see all those things, right? This is the basic architecture that we have. So you have a client, and this is the server or the daemon. So whatever commands that you give here as a client will be interpreted by our Docker daemon in the server, and then it will go and do its create the container, it will go and push the container, it will pull, delete, run, do whatever you want, right? So another thing you need to keep in mind, these are all template. There are images just like AMI, right? Amazon machine image, there are some template images are there. So if you want to install Nginx using Docker, then it will go and pull the Nginx image from your Docker Hub registry, and then it will create the Docker container and it will deploy. Okay. So very important, Docker daemon, or it's called Docker D, listens for Docker API requests and manages Docker objects such as images, containers, volumes, and network. A daemon can communicate with other daemons also to manage your Docker. Docker client is the primary way how you can Docker user will interact with the Docker daemon. When you use commands like Docker run, the client will send these commands to the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon will in turn do the operations. Okay, it's just a interface here. That's all. The Docker client can communicate with more than one daemon. Then we have Docker registries. A Docker registry is a place where all Docker images are stored. It's a public registry. You also have a private registry. So Docker Hub is a public registry that anyone can use, and Docker is configured to look for images on Docker Hub by default. You can even have your own private registry within your organization. Only thing, it has to be accessible. You have proper access. When you use Docker pull or Docker run command, the required images are pulled from the hub and which is configured in registry, it will pull there and it will go and start creating the container for you. Okay. Some of the things that you need to keep in mind: Docker objects and then Docker images. When you use Docker, you are creating and using your image, container, network, volume, plugin, all other objects, right? So what are the such? This one is the images, and image is a read-only template with instructions for creating Docker container. So you want an Nginx image, then you can take that image. It will have all the instructions, a read-only template. Often an image is based on another image with some additional customization. For example, you can build a image which is based upon Ubuntu image, but installs the Apache web server on your application server, and also you can configure all details needed to make sure your application is running, right? So they're all read-only templates. So each and every layer, every operations that we do will be layered as a one. It will be a layered image, and at last you will get one single image, which is a union file system of all the images. So container is very important. Container is a runnable instance for your image. So container is where you can run your Docker image. You can create, start, stop, move, delete a container using Docker APIs or command line interface. You can connect to a container to one or more networks. You can attach storage to it. You can even create a new image, custom image based on its current state. So you write your own application. You create it as a Docker image. You Docker application, container is your application. You can create your own custom image based out of that and push it to the Docker hub. That also you can do. And you can ask your peers to or somebody else to can use that image. By default, container is relatively very well isolated from other containers and its host machine. So you can control how the isolation container works by using namespaces. So Docker technology, it is written in Go programming language. It takes the advantage of several features of Linux kernel to deliver its functionality. So Docker daemon always runs only in Linux. Okay, even though we install Docker in Windows, there is a small virtual kernel that is installed. On top of that only Docker will be running. Okay, when you run a Docker container, Docker creates a set of namespaces for that container. If no namespace is given, a default namespace will be taken. These namespaces will provide a layer of isolation. Just as I told you, you can have your namespace as dev s1, uat s1, and prod s1. Okay. There are different stages when we can create a Docker container, which is known as Docker container lifecycle. Some of these states we will see when we are actually creating the Docker. There is a state called created, running, paused, stopped, and deleted. Okay, so you can go back and forth, except after deleted, you cannot stop, but you can pause, stop, restart, run. You can do all those things. Okay. So this is basically this one, right? When you create, it will get created. You have the option to delete or you can start. After created, you can also delete it or you can start. Once you start, it will start running, and you can pause, unpause, stop, start, and you can also remove the container. So all those things that you can do. So Docker runs natively on Windows. It requires a later version of Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise. You cannot have Home Edition or the previous Windows 10 edition. Docker requires the Hyper-V packages to be enabled. This is Microsoft's hypervisor for Windows. So it runs kind of a virtual machine. It virtualizes the Docker environment and Linux kernel specific. Docker cannot run alongside of your Oracle VirtualBox VM. If you have any Oracle VirtualBox, you will not be able to run your Docker. Okay. Okay. So let's go and kind of see how to install this. So you can install this and we can continue to see all the commands what we are doing, right? So there are two ways that you can install Docker. The one way to install Docker in your Windows is go to Google and search for Docker desktop for Windows 10. Then it will take you to docs.docker.com is the official Docker site. You can go here and you can go download this Docker desktop for Windows and start installing this. The installation is very simple. You simply need to install. Okay. This is for your Windows. For your Linux, Linux for the EC2 machine, this is how you can go do your this one. If you're using Amazon Linux, it comes under Amazon Linux Extras. So you can install Docker. You can start the Docker. There will be a group creator called Docker. You need to add the current user to the Docker group, and then you can go and say check config Docker on means whenever you stop and start the machine, the Docker service will also be started. So you can run this. I will share this. You guys can run this, but if you see, we already have a just install the Docker. So you can install the Docker. Once you install the Docker in Windows or in Linux, if you are in Windows, you will get a result. Desktop, Docker desktop, right? You will get one icon here. When you click on this, in my system, it will take 5 minutes because there are a lot of things running. For you, it might be faster. So please complete the installation correctly. Don't miss somewhere, okay? So try to install this tomorrow and come, then we will start doing all our commands for Docker, how to create containers, how easy it is easy to create your Jenkins and all those things, right? And we will go from there for all our Docker related stuff. Any questions, guys? Today's one. I'll be deleting all my Ansible servers. Okay, there were a lot of
And in Ansible, we have a condition like one condition in this, right? If any other condition statement we can use,
what is that?
In Ansible, we use the condition, right? When we used a when condition.
Right.
Okay. Any other condition statements are there? Only the when.
There are so many, right? You remember we had gather facts. You remember? So all these are coming based on this only. You can say when Ansible distribution release is equal to OTPA, right? Or you can say Ansible distribution version is 8.6. So you can use all these parameters as condition.
And that is not a I'm asking about like conditions shown in another like condition. And,
No, I'm not able to hear you clearly. Can you be clear?
See, in other languages, we used to compare on a variable strings and
No. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. That is why you only have an exist, or you can say that whatever variable you have, you can say whether it is empty or not empty. Only basic things you can do. You cannot compare this with all the other languages, just like we have if, else, for, and all those things, right? Those things is not possible.
The loop also same, right? Like the
loop is we have looping we have, right? So you can loop with items, right? With items you can loop and send one by one.
What about file operations in Ansible?
File operations are there. I already told you, right? I showed you last time itself for the file operation. So the best thing for you to see is you need to go to your documentation of your Ansible modules, and that is where you need to go and see. There are thousands of modules, and you can use all those modules to your convenience, right? You have file module, you have copy module, you have AWS module, you have GCP module, everything is there, right? So you have a file module, click on file, there will be a lot of things on file, but just go to the F directly and see, you should be able to see file here. And I told you how to go and check for your file also. Let me quickly show you. File, manage files and file properties. Go here, go to example, you can see here, the file module is used, path, owner, group, mode, you can create files, right? You can create hard links, you can create symbolic links, everything, whatever you do, right? You can do, you can touch files, you can write contents, you can set access time based on seconds from epoch value. All those things you can do, right? Everything you can do. So you can take a look at this modules. All these modules we cannot go through. It is very, very difficult to go through all the modules, but at least you should know where to refer, how to write this, right? That's very important. Okay, so all these are modules. So you also have modules for your AWS, right? See, AWS, you have your modules for your AWS. You want to write something, go and write all those things, right? You can go and write AWS, say you want to write a AWS code commit, code build, or whatever it is, right? You can go and do. You want to create an S3 bucket, go here and you should be able to create an S3 bucket using This one, see here. So you can create a bucket, you can put a bucket, you can get operation, you can do all those things, right? If you're familiar with AWS, or you have modules for Azure, module for Google Cloud, modules for Kubernetes, so many things are there. Even for Docker also we have. These are all for Docker, right? See, Docker node, how you can manage a Docker node, Docker Swarm, Docker volumes, Docker network, right? So all those things that you have, different modules, and based on that, you can go and take all the modules. So the ones that we were using, sorry. We were using most of the things for yum package, right? Yum package is a package manager that we were using. Just go back and see. You will be able to see all the examples here, and all the parameters are there, right? You can see all your parameters here. Okay, whether you want to enable, whether you want to disable, whether you want to remove, see the state, absent, install, latest, present, removed. So we saw most of the things here. So let's go and take a look at this. And this is what we actually did to install our Apache, right? And this is what we did, how to install list of packages, right? Do number of packages and push this package one by one. This is a list, right? Instead of writing two playbooks, there is only one playbook with one task to install multiple packages, right? So these are some of the things that you can go and do. You can go and take a look and you can do. But again, it's very difficult to go through everything, but at least the basic stuff you need to know, and you should know how to go and interpret this one. That is very important, right? It's very difficult to go and kind of see everything, you work out everything. If you are working specifically on, say, Datadog, then this is a Datadog event, right? You might be using a Datadog as your observability tool. You can see how this is being used. See here. So like this, you can keep going and going and going on. Okay. So it's very difficult to go through all the modules, but whatever you need is there, and you can, but whenever you are copying something, you really need to know exactly what you're doing. That's all. If you understand that, that's more than enough. Okay.
Can you explain the roles also in the answer? Something there is a roles, right?
Yeah. There is roles. Roles is nothing but how you will organize this one. Say for example, in our Apache, right? We have installed Apache. Install Apache, or say maybe HTTP. Now, what we can do, now we have tasks here. Suppose I'm creating another file in where www.html, and instead of keeping everything in one YAML file, you can split this YAML files into different places as a template, and you can keep it in different places, so it will look well organized, and that is why it is used first for roles. So let's go and just create one role and do a boilerplate and see what's happening, right? Let's go and see what's happening with roles. Let's go create a role and see what are the things that you will get for Ansible roles. Just go to Ansible roles, and you can go and see how to create a role. So these are all the, under roles, these are all the files that will be created for you, right? And you can place these files in so all your tasks, your main.xml will have tasks, your handlers will be there, any Jinja templates will be here, any files that your static files you have, you can have it under files, any variables can be under this YAML file, and all those things, right? So you can organize your playbook into such a way that you can use it as a role. You can use it as a role. That is where your role comes into picture. Okay. You can go to create your roles, and you can import static roles and everything that you can do. So roles specification and all those things that you can do. And if you want, you can go and create roles also, and go and create roles. Then you can go to here and take some examples and try to create your role. So you want to create role. This is the command we just need to put. Okay. Use Ansible Galaxy to initialize your role. So we simply say Ansible Galaxy init role, give the name of the role as Ansible. Yeah, I think init. Yeah, init, right? Now go and see, you will see a web setup. Get into web setup. And this is how you will see all those things. Suppose you have a tree, we don't have a tree. Let's just quickly do a sudo yum install tree -y. It will install the tree package. It will be easy for us to go look down. See here, these are all the things that I told you. Inside the defaults, all your main tasks will be here and your handlers will be here. Any files, static files you will have, any other tasks that you want, you can put it here. And you can also keep all your templates, any test cases, any variables, you can put all in this. So this is the way to organize your playbook, right? So you can use roles to organize your playbook. Okay.
Each function we got to create each role, and we got to use it, right?
So what you will do, you
install
will
one role and a service start with
you
its own role.
you can install one role, say web setup, and put all the things related to web setup.
Okay. And
Like
for service
example,
start, and there is I got to create another role for service start, right?
yeah, you can either create a service separate this one, or you can put it under main task itself.
Okay.
So that means when you run the web setup, it is for the whole web setup.
Okay.
Okay. So just try out this, and if you have any doubt, just let me know.
So I'll try and anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try to see if you can convert our install HTTPD into role.
Okay. So there is another
Any other
like
question?
yeah, we are using CLI, right? The Ansible we are using. Any difference will be there with that Ansible Tower? I think there is a Tower.
No, Ansible Tower is nothing but your enterprise UI version of Ansible.
That's a only UI version, right? Okay.
Yeah, only it's a UI version that is available only for license and in enterprise.
Okay.
So both are same, nothing different. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Yeah. Anything else, guys? I just lost my power. So before that, let me save this. So we will meet tomorrow at 6:30 again, and we will continue with our Docker. Try to install the Docker desktop. If not, we can install tomorrow. So no issues. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Sundar.
Yeah. Thank you.